Here's another example of black people destroying something that's good. Everything they touch turn to ghetto. You know that they are now, many of them will not stand for the national anthem. And as a result, the numbers have gone down as far as people showing up to the games and advertisements and things like that. And so the NFL made a deal, okay, if you don't want to kneel, we are too cowardly to fire you and make you kneel or whatever, you can stay in the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to come out during the national anthem, which is a horrible, weak beta deal. But now, so the Philadelphia Eagles won. I don't know how, but they won. And they were invited to the White House, and James is going to take it from there.
Yeah, the Eagles had won the Super Bowl, so they were invited to the White House. But President Trump tweeted yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles football team was invited to the White House. Unfortunately, only a small number of players decided to come, and we canceled the event. Staying in the locker room for the playing of our national anthem is as disrespectful to our country as kneeling. Sorry. And Fox News reported that fewer than 10 Philadelphia Eagles were set to visit the White House. And in a White House statement, Trump said that the fans deserve better.
Yeah. But the blacks don't care about better. Really. They're not mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, or morally up to par, and they do not care. It's been happening over the last 60 years. They don't care. They literally just don't care. I've hired black people, not the ones I have now. And it was just impossible. You've seen them, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
What would their attitude be?
It was generally like a shrug your shoulders type of an attitude.
Yeah. They like halfway do it. They're satisfied with halfway doing the job. And they'll just leave it that way. Don't care. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Just don't care. I'm like, white people don't work this way. Do I say that to them?
Yes.
But anyway, finish the story.
So a black player, Torrey Smith, tweeted out, so many lies. And he tweeted out the White House statement. SMH, here are some facts. And he gives these supposed facts. 1, not many people were going to go, which Trump already said. 2, no one refused to go simply because Trump insists folks stand for the anthem. And 3, the president continues to spread the false narrative that players are anti-military.
They are.
And he tweeted, it's a cowardly act to cancel the celebration because the majority of people don't want to see you. To make it about the anthem is foolish.
Another line, trashy black.
Yeah.
Because if you don't kneel for the anthem, if you don't stand for the anthem, you are turning your back on the military, on the country, on the flag, and on the fans. So I don't know what this idiot is talking about. What's his name?
Torrey Smith.
He's a liar. Absolute liar. Are you like amazed how blacks destroy everything?
Now that you point it out, yeah. I mean, I've always known that they're always complaining and crying racism, and they get caught up in the false narrative of racism and stuff. But I hadn't really considered, and I didn't expect the NFL to go down like this.
I did. Once they went along with that stupid
Colin Kaepernick, yes.
And then
but before all that happened,
right? I didn't think it would either. I wasn't, but it all makes sense now.
Right.
And they are arguing over something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
An illusion, police brutality or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even exist.
I know.
It's a lie. It's a made up lie. But because blacks are in a fallen state, you can lie to them about those things. You can't tell them the truth. They won't accept the truth.
Right.
But you can lie to them, and they fall for it.
It's shameful.
They should take this mess home, protest in the hood after work. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Julius is a first-time caller out of New Jersey. Julius, thanks for calling you on the air.
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm a veteran, and I actually support the NFL players making the call to protest if they so choose.
At work?
And I'm not the only veteran.
You support it at work?
Their work is when the game starts.
Do you support them? That's not true.
No. Hold up.
Do
It was
you
always the
support?
tradition. It was always the tradition that the football players can stay in the locker room.
But that's not the
NFL
tradition
decided
now.
No, it
That's
was
not what's happening
when
now.
they signed up to be NFL players, they signed up to play the stupid little game called football.
Julius,
It was not to be props for. No, don't try me because I know this.
Julius,
okay?
are you
it
black?
Was for a contract.
Are you
no,
black?
I'm not.
What's your
No, I'm not.
What's your race?
I'm American.
No, what's your nationality?
American. That's what a nationality is.
You don't want to tell me. You one of those people that don't want blacks to be their best. You supported bad behavior.
Hold up.
You supported bad behavior.
Those black players are the best in what they do.
No, they're not.
Those black players are the best at what they do. They kick ass in the game of football.
You don't want them.
Don't tell me that they're not.
Julius.
What?
You don't want them to be their best in life because you hate black people.
No. That is a huge jump.
You hate black people.
That is oh, God, stop. No, spare me with the fake racism talk.
I said you hate them. I didn't say you were racist.
No, yeah, okay. Well, first of all, if you hate blacks, then that means you're race. The same way as if you hate whites,
that's
you're
not
racist,
true. That's
okay?
not true. That's a lie.
Yes, it is. Racism, racism involves
no such thing as racism.
People of another race or ethnicity or looking down on them.
Would you want your kids to disrespect?
I know that you don't believe racism ever existed, but I'm explaining to you how racism works.
Do you want? Hold on, Julius. Let me take a break. Back in a moment. It's a shame that there are liberal, godless people out there who want blacks to be morally bankrupt, to use them for personal gain. And so many blacks have fallen away from God that they have no idea what's happening. They don't know that they're being used. They think that what they're doing is right, even though everything they do is very destructive. And we're trying to change that. But people like Julius from New Jersey is okay with blacks destroying. Is that right, Julius?
I deny every part of your argument as a false accusation.
Julius, would you kneel or stand during the national anthem?
The suggestion of kneeling came
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking that.
No. You don't get to play that game.
All right, I'm going to let you go. I can't waste. You're wasting my time. I don't have time for that, man. I want to go to Barry out of Atlanta.
Wouldn't you agree with me that everyone who served in the military actually died for our freedom as Americans?
Everyone who served in the military died?
No, everyone who served in the military and also the ones who died for our freedom.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's also for the freedom to be able to...
Are you on a headset, Bluetooth or something?
Is that better?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Wouldn't you agree with me that they died for our right to kneel also for the national anthem?
Not at work.
I think that's more of a private thing. Wouldn't you agree with that?
No. That's wrong.
Why is that? Why would you say not at work?
Because no one hired you to come to work or go to work and bring your fake, phony politics to work. You're hired to do a job. You're hired to do a job.
Phony politics.
Because these thugs, these black thugs who are kneeling during the national anthem,
have you ever been to jail?
they're kneeling about a phony thing that doesn't even exist because there's no such thing as police brutality. And they are also doing it while on payroll. Somebody else is paying them, so they're using up someone else's time. And they're disrespecting the flag, the country, the military, and the fans.
It's funny that you would say there's no police brutality. I've actually been beat up by police officers before.
That doesn't mean that's police brutality.
Well, I mean, some police officers do use their power to abuse others. Wouldn't you agree with me with that?
I'm sure you can find good and evil in all organizations, but
that's
there's no such
correct.
thing as police brutality.
So that
And
is a yes,
who to
correct?
say that you didn't deserve to get beat by the cop?
I don't think anybody deserves to get beat by anybody.
But if you don't obey what they're asking you to do, follow instructions, they're going to protect themselves. And so you get what you deserve.
As you explained it.
And that's not police brutality.
And I can't really get in. I would love to get into it, but for time's sake, I can't really tell you exactly what happened.
Because you're not going to be honest about it anyway.
Oh, I would be honest.
No,
There's
you wouldn't be honest.
About it.
You would not be honest about your part in it because you're trying to prove.
Why would you say that?
Because you're trying to prove police brutality.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying as a whole, but you agree with me that you don't. Some people of authority do abuse that power, correct?
I agree that there's good and bad in all cultures and situations.
So that is a yes, correct?
But it's not abuse of power.
So you don't think people abuse power? Mayors in Atlanta do the stuff that they do because they empower.
Well, I know that people in power, so-called power positions, misuse that power because they become
that's power. That's
because they become
that's power abuse, right?
Because they become corrupt. But that doesn't mean that there's police brutality. And so these thugs on the football.
Well, if a police officer beats someone up, isn't that police brutality?
It all depends on why he beat him up.
Okay, so now it depends, but you just said it
but
wasn't
it's not
any
police brutality.
Is it police brutality?
No,
or is it not?
No, it's not.
Okay, so we'll erase that you said it depends. Okay.
Anything else, Barry?
Yes, sir. I think as far as the
do you believe that there is black brutality?
Black brutality. What do you mean by that?
Oh, so now you're going to dumb on me.
No, I'm asking you a circumstance that you would consider.
The question is, do you believe that there's black brutality?
Against black people?
Do you believe that there's black brutality?
I'll have to say no, I don't.
I didn't think so. All right, Barry.
No, sir, I don't.
You proved my point. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Ray out of Champaign, Illinois. Ray, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I ran across something kind of profane that a lot of people can relate to. The statement is, give a white man a pile of bricks and he'll build a city. Give a black man a city and he'll build a pile of bricks.
That is so true.
Well, I mean, look at Detroit and look at East St. Louis and the south side of Chicago. And for somebody to hear me say that, they say, oh, that's awful, that's racist and everything. But here is the evidence right here. I don't, it's just like Barry. He just called up, he wanted to argue with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm getting older. I'm 68 now, and I had a friend of mine that was on the Champaign Police Department. And when they would get a call to go to where the blacks would start getting in a gunfight and they'd be shooting each other, what they used to do is just drive real slow, so by the time they got there, everything was over and done with. But now all of a sudden it's gone 180 where policemen are going out there and actually getting shot. So,
well, that's because white people have been afraid to correct black people.
Absolutely.
To the point that, I don't know if you heard the first hour, we gave you a story where the aviation company.
Yes, I did.
Is hiring black people who are not even qualified. And whites are not speaking up about that.
I was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force, so it kind of hit home with me that we don't need unqualified people, working on aircraft.
We really don't.
We really don't. And, this is what's happening.
So, Ray, by listening to this show, and seeing things a little differently now. Do you find yourself speaking the truth more?
Absolutely. I would, I'm white, and I've gone through a lot of stuff that a lot of the whites of my friends haven't gone through. For one, I was the only white man that worked in the projects, and I was there for about a week, and I decided that one of my buildings that I would go in there and re-drywall all the walls where they had sprayed gang graffiti all over the place and kicked the walls in. So I went in and completely re-drywalled, came back the next day to mud and tape, and they'd kicked out all the new drywall I'd put in.
Yeah.
And my heart just sunk because it was a statement to me, you can't change things here.
Black people, not all, but most, don't like decency. They don't like beauty. They don't like for things to be clean and neat. They don't want that because it reminds them that they're wrong within, and they don't want to be reminded. They want to be told that it's someone else and not them. So that's why they destroyed it.
Our first job as a maintenance man was to go around and pick up all the garbage. And we had all these massive dumpsters around, but there was garbage everywhere. They would throw garbage right down on the street.
That's right.
2 feet away from a dumpster.
Yep.
And I'd be walking along to go to fix something. A door would open up, and they would take a dirty diaper, and they would roll it up like a baseball, and all of a sudden it'd come winging by you. And I thought, this is unreal.
I was driving down the road the other day, and a bunch of black young people, I don't know if they were teenagers, they looked like they should be between 18, 19, 20 or so, and they were parked in the middle of the street where you couldn't get by. And these was black boys and girls, and rather than moving, they sat there and just look at you as though you were wrong. And we don't start dealing with these issues with the lack of morality with these folks, they're going to only get worse, and it's going to be bad for the country even more so. Ray, thank you for your call. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Back in a moment.